What's up guys, AJ here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can 10x your results when prospecting. What I'm going to share with you in this video is exactly how I was able to go from knowing nobody in my market, because we had just moved there, so we didn't know anybody. So from going from 0 transactions, not knowing anybody, no sphere, to 36 transactions in my second year. So the idea is that when you're prospecting, if you don't get the appointment, you want to turn that seller into what I call a nurture, and you start to build out your nurture farm. So what is a nurture? A nurture is a seller who you're speaking with that you do not set an appointment with. However, they have to meet this criteria. First, they have to agree to interview you when the time comes to sell their home. Secondly, you need to be able to get their email address. So this is how you take them from no appointment set to a nurture. You want to make sure that you're closing multiple times throughout the conversation, so don't use moving them into the nurture category as a way to kind of cop out from actually trying to set the appointment. So make sure that you're trying to close for the appointment multiple times. But eventually, you'll be able to figure out that, hey, I'm not going to get the appointment because they're waiting for the spring and you tried to handle that objection and you weren't able to overcome it, or they're waiting for the summer, or they're waiting for their kids to get out of high school, or they're waiting for their kids to go into high school, or they're waiting for their kids to come out from college. Whatever the reason is, once you handle the objection and try to keep the conversation flowing, if you don't get the appointment, and that's very clear, then go to the second phase, which is to establish them as a nurture. So say you're a seller and we've had a good conversation, went back and forth a few times. I'd say, hey, Mr. Seller, I actually got to hop on another call, but before I let you go, just out of curiosity, when you do go to sell your home, by any chance, do you already have an agent that you're obligated to? Or would you be open to interviewing me for the job of selling your home? You want to make sure that they don't have another agent, maybe a neighbor, best friend, family member. You want to make sure that there's not somebody that they're absolutely committed to. And by doing that, you know this is a person that's worthwhile to follow up with. I made this mistake initially, and it cost me a lot of time, effort, and energy because I was following up with people. By the time they actually were ready to sell it, they said, well, actually, my son-in-law is an agent, so we were going to use him the entire time. Some people just don't want to hurt your feelings, so they're going to let you continue to follow up and then let you know that they already had somebody else in mind they're going to use the entire time. So make sure you're asking that important question. Once they agreed that they will interview you when they go to sell their house, say, next, awesome, is it okay if I send you some information? Now they're saying, hey, I'm just trying to get off the phone. This is what they're thinking. Hey, I'm just trying to get off the phone. Sure, yeah, send me some information. So they'll agree 100% of the time. So then you follow it up with, okay, great, what's your best email? So now they've already agreed that you can send them information. So now it's going to be pretty natural for them to just give you their email. You know, when you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, Marshall's, Target, or wherever. Actually, I don't know if Target does it, but for sure, Lowe's and Home Depot, they're always asking for your email, right? People naturally are going to say no if you just come out and ask for their email. So you want to position it where, hey, can I send you some information? They say yes. Then you say, okay, great, what's your best email? They've already said yes, it's okay to send me information. So they're much more likely, to the tune of 90+%, to give you their email. So these are ninja tips, guys. This is a way to get an email almost every single time. So now what you're doing is you're building this nurture farm that you're going to systematically follow up with on a consistent basis. I mean, just think about what we're talking about here. If you're prospecting 3 hours a day, which you should be, making 30 contacts, at least 10 an hour, that should be your average. If you're not already doing this, then definitely reach out to me and let's talk about it, or put in the comments how many contacts you're able to make per hour. I'd be curious to see. So in this 3-hour prospecting session, when you're talking to 30 sellers, you should be able to develop at least 3 to 5 nurtures. Let's just say you're developing 5 nurtures a day. Very realistic. 5 nurtures times 5 days, that's 25 a week. That's 100 a month, right? 4 weeks in a month, 25 times 4, that's 100 nurtures. Times 12, that's 1,200, but let's just lower it a little bit, be conservative. That's 1,000 sellers who have said they will interview you when the time comes for them to sell their home. And that's just 1 year of prospecting. Imagine if you do this for the next 2, 3, 5 years. We're talking about having anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 sellers in your market who have agreed to interview you when the time comes to sell their home. This is massive, guys. This is massive. And when you systematically follow up with them through some direct mail, through text messages, phone calls, thank you notes, video messages, market reports, all the stuff that I teach, it's a no-brainer when the time comes for them to sell their house that they're going to hire you. I mean, think about this. If you don't already know, maybe you're a new agent or maybe you're just getting into prospecting for the first time, be bad with follow-up. You will be the only agent following up with them 6 months or a year from now. I've listed property where it took me years and 20, 30 contacts to that one seller to actually list the home. And I can promise you no one else has that endurance. I just heard this amazing quote from my good friend John today. He didn't quote it. It's actually from a book that he read, but it goes like this. Enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. How good is that? Everyone's enthusiastic when they get their real estate license, when they start prospecting for the first time, thinking, oh, I'm going to make so much money as an agent. Well, hey, the truth is it's hard, and it's the ones who endure that win. So remember, enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare, and when you follow up over a period of time with sellers, you will be the last man or girl standing. I can promise you that. So what are they going to do when the time comes to sell their house? Are they going to Google what's a good agent in my market to find their listing agent? Or are they going to hire you, who they already know through video, through text, through direct mail? They're going to use you. When they think of a real estate agent, they think of you because you did such a nice job following up. I promise you, this is lights out. I mean, when I got started, all I was doing is calls, but my follow-up was that good to where it was still pretty much like this concept, but just not taken to the next level, and I just didn't know any different. But I followed up enough through the phone. So if you can add in everything else I'm talking about, it's lights out. So think about this concept. How many nurtures can I be adding to my database every single day? And on the tracking sheet that I use, and you can get a free download in the description, just go ahead and put your name and email there. It's a tracker that I developed, tracks your contacts, tracks your appointment set, and it tracks your nurtures. Be thinking about my main focus today is to set an appointment and to get 5 nurtures. If you did just that every single day, prospect for 3 hours, set 1 appointment, develop 5 nurtures, you will be lights out, one of the top producing agents in your market in no time. I promise you that. So take what I'm talking about here and put it to work. Develop your follow-up system. Have a daily method of operation, what you do every single day. Have it posted on your wall. Know what your follow-up system is. Use the elements I'm talking about. If you want additional help, reach out to me directly and we can talk about how I can help you more. But I'm telling you guys, this opportunity is so big as a listing agent. You can achieve all of your dreams through real estate, I promise you. So use this nurture farm strategy, become one of the top listing agents in your entire market, and just go out there, crush it. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, you owe it to the people that are counting on you to be massively successful. So as always, guys, it helps me out a lot if you can like this video, leave a comment if you have questions, and please subscribe to the channel. I'd very much so appreciate it. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. All right, guys, until next time, get out there and crush it.